Have you ever thought about why we do the things we do? Why some of us are just hungry to get outside and hike miles on end through rugged terrain, just hoping to return with a heavy pack full of bones. It's a different way of life, and it's not for everybody. For those of us who pursue the search for sheds, we all have our own reasons. There's the excitement of never knowing what you'll find. Maybe it's the adventure along the way. Perhaps there's something profound about just being alone in the mountains. As for me, my biggest reason is that I never come home empty. I didn't start shed hunting until I was 22. And decided to go with my brother Rick on an overnight trip to Jackson Hole. That first experience had me hooked. There was something really interesting about trying to think like an elk. And it felt like hunting for treasure, following the clues left behind. You never knew when you would discover brown gold, or find a unique antler dropped by an elusive monster. Shed hunting was like being a kid again, exploring the world in a brand new way. I started dreaming about sheds and couldn't drive anywhere without scanning the mountains for new country to hike. In the off-season, I found shed hunting creeping into my work as an artist. It became an integral part of my being. And at the heart of it all was the truth that every time I found myself in the mountains, I would never return home empty. There was always something to find. Now, don't get me wrong. I've come home many times without a single shed on my pack, but for me it all came down to what I was searching for. As the years rolled on, shed hunting became less and less about sheds, and more about discovering light. The mountains became my place to connect with my Maker. They became holy ground, a temple. I would take my questions, my concerns, my hopes and dreams into those mountains and have long talks with God as I wandered through His creation. And every now and then I would find something. A piece of truth would emerge and burn itself into my heart. Spirit whispered on the wind. Angel voices echoed through the trees. And mountaintops carried the imprint of the Lord's footsteps. There, in my mountains, far from the dusty roads that Jesus walked in life, I found Him. My favorite scriptures spoken to prophets of old have a familiar call to me. Get thee into the mountain, and there will I meet thee. And so I go. I explore. I search. I ask. I seek. I knock. And I never go home empty. There's always something to find. It just comes down to what you're searching for. My heart still beats fast when I stumble upon a beautiful shed, and it probably always will. But even beyond that excitement is something deeper, a more valuable discovery, something hidden that is easier to miss, but when found can transform your soul. That is why I am a shed hunter.